Jesus would have been a Roman agent. Jesus would have worked for the Roman government. He would have been favored by Nero or Vespasian, if based on what Kylie is saying is correct. Now, Kylie read somewhere, I don't know exactly where they read it, but they were saying that the story is based on some level of truth. That there was a man going around performing miracles, and they sought to kill him, but every time they would do harm to him, he would simply just heal himself. And then, after he would heal himself, they decided that if they cut up his body and ate his body, drank his blood, then they would no longer be able to heal himself. And therefore, the Jesus myth grows into a legend. And that is based on some level of truth. Well, I've never heard that. I've never read that before. But I thought about that for a second. And as I thought about that, it reminded me of that question that I get on the Marvel forum that I'm on quite often, where they always ask, if you could have one superpower, what superpower would it be? And people always say, oh, I like to fly. I like to have Magneto and all these other different superpowers. I'd be Superman, all this stuff. Here's a fact of reality. If any human being was able to display some type of power, say like in the movie Jumper, either the government, most of the time we think the government is going to try to kill you, but it wasn't the government, it was a secret organization that was trying to kill him in that movie Jumper. But if it was real, and it wouldn't be the government that would be trying to kill these people, the government would try to utilize you. The government would take you into their possession and utilize you for their own gains. If Jesus was able to perform the miracles of walking on water, and then he can cause other people to walk on water, do you not think the Romans would have used him when they were in a situation where they needed to cross a canyon or they needed to cross a river and to get those troops across? If Jesus was able to heal Lazarus and heal other people and bring him back from the dead, Pontius Pilate would not have had a conversation with him and said that, I see no use for this man. Pontius Pilate would have said, hey, I gotta keep this guy around. When my soldiers go out and they fight and they get injured, just like he healed the ear on the one guy, I'm gonna use him to heal my soldiers. I'm gonna use him to bring my dead soldiers back to life so that I have a never-ending army and able to destroy anybody else who uprises in Judea. This information would have got back to Nero. Nero would have used him to expand the Roman Empire. Vespasian would have done the same thing. Whichever one you want to take a pick, it don't matter. Augustus Caesar, whoever was in charge at any time frame of Jesus, they would have used Jesus to expand and control the Roman Empire. And I know some people at that point is going to say, well, that's what they did with the message. No, I'm saying physically, literally use his powers. I want you to think about that. Think about it. Our government today is no different than the government back then, and no different than any other government that is in power. Every government in power wants to remain in power, and they want to secure their power. And any advantage that they could utilize in securing and gaining more power, they will utilize that. Whether through torture or by providing gifts and favorabilities to somebody, they will bribe you to get what they want. So therefore, Jesus is in no different of a situation. If you had the power to heal people, had the power to levitate, walk on water, feed people, you know that whatever country you're living in right now, your government will take advantage of that. They will give you whatever you want if you side up with them. If you go against them, of course, then they're going to torture you. But they're going to figure out a way. They're going to grab your family members. You don't think the Romans would have held his mother and his brothers and sisters at knife point, at spear point, sword point, and said, you're going to resurrect our dead soldiers or we're going to kill your family? And I know Jesus said that you got to hate your mother and your father and all this kind of stuff. But you don't think that they would have tried that, attempted that? That would be part of the narrative. Come on now, people. Y'all know people are going to people. People are always peopling. So, yeah, the story that Pilate found no use for him, that they rather see him dead than to utilize him, is a bit ridiculous. It's not the human way. Tell me what you guys think about this. It's a exercise, a thought, a mental exercise. It's a thought, but because there's nothing to back it up, nothing to say that this is what happened. It's just a exercise of thought. So y'all have a great day, and remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself. because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.